What about the possibility, though, that we are headed for some sort of a crash? A bubble is going to burst. Several bubbles could burst. This could be another November surprise.
We are bankrupt. There's no question about that. But I have already agreed to take over the national debt that you can verify. They say there were $20 trillion in debt. If there's 50% of that is true, that's a big figure. But the Federal Reserve Bank, which is not a bank, it's a clearinghouse, are the ones that are doing all the money changes. They're the ones that created the problem, and they're owned by the Rothschilds and the cabal and the establishment. They're not fellow Americans in any shape or form. Kennedy got murdered. Bob Kennedy got murdered. Reagan got attempted assassination and everything else. They need to control the money market, the gold, the silver, and they're not doing it for the people. They're doing it for a handful of people.
All right.
See it every day. That's why they took me down, because I did the fair thing, and I had United Nations contract number 4 for $5 trillion, and they cried like hell because they wanted to do it, and nobody was going to lose money from our deal at United Nations UN contract number 4, because we would have paid taxes on it, and we would have got rid of a lot of the banksters and the harp and all that bullshit.
Okay, no, we have to be mindful of our language, Ambassador.
Well, I'm just serious how
I
much
understand.
the people are being taken.
I understand.
It's BS if you want to say that, but
Yeah.
you got to be careful.
Yeah, that's BS.
Okay.
But it's theater against the people, not for the people.
So
We don't have $20 trillion in real debt.
All right.
Iceland proved that.
Okay, we can circle back to that. There's so many issues here to address, but I want to just come back to Russia for a moment. You're confident then that despite Hillary's saber rattling and bravado, that the flag officers in the military would not allow for a war with Russia.
That's correct.
All right, well, we can at least rest easy on that front. Let's get an update then on the $32.1 trillion. And I gave the sort of the thumbnail sketch of how that was amassed.
And it's much higher according to the U.S. Treasury.
It's higher than 31.2 trillion?
Absolutely.
I would imagine just with interest, even though, it's as dismal as interest is, on 31.2 trillion, that is going to accumulate in an awful hurry. But this was, again, money, a fortune that was amassed when you were working under President Reagan as his secret agent.
When I was mandated under President Reagan.
Okay, mandated.
And one other thing is important. He was a private citizen under the Toten Doctrine,
Right.
which was initiated by Abraham Lincoln. So, a lot of people have tried to justify taking his funds because they call him an employee. He was an employee of the government. He was never an employee of the government. He's always been a private citizen under the Toten Doctrine.
Right.
And if you want to know what the Toten Doctrine is, anybody could look it up. It's very clear what the Toten Doctrine is.
Right, and it's also documented in Wanta, Black Swan, White Hat. Ambassador Lee Wanta and editor Lon Gibby, Viking International, with us.